Over now on the left-hand side to Bechiche. He plays over to Berenguer. Berenguer forced to go back to Bechiche. Bechiche plays back to Paredes, who's quite happy to pass the ball back to Unai Simon. Now to Paredes once more, over to Bechiche on that left-hand side. Bechiche with the ball knocked forward to Owen Sanchez. Sanchez's touch is a little heavy there. And he nearly found himself caught a cropper by Suazo, but able to get the ball back to Unai Simon, who plays out on that right-hand side to Arezzo. Arezzo decides to play back into the centre. Alvarez dribbling the ball forward, now cuts over to Bechiche. Bechiche to Berenguer. Berenguer, who's dropping quite a way back into the defensive half so far. Now Athletic trying to come forward on that right-hand side. And this time it will be the first corner for Athletic, as Suazo is forced to put the ball behind for a corner. Corner apiece so far in this game. On the near side, the first chance for the host to put a dangerous ball from a dead ball situation into the box. Bechiche has come over onto his far side to take this one. Bechiche plays it low into the ground. Here's a chance for Sanchez to try and get hold of it. Sevilla just about managed to get themselves clear. Not perhaps as convincing as they might have liked with that clearance. Interesting ball, that one put in from Bechiche. You normally expect a corner, of course, to be played aerially. That was a nice sizzling low ball that he put into the box there. And Athletic have been asking more of a question so far in these opening encounters. Sevilla tried to play the ball long down that right-hand channel, headed out for a throw by Paredes. Iglesias will come over to take this one. Signed in the summer from Getafe. As Sevilla now with Suazo on that left-hand side of the defence. Plays the ball into Lopez in the centre. Now over to Sangante. Sangante tries to pick out Iglesias. Not too sure where he was aiming for with that ball, but it went straight into Iñaki Williams with a lot of pace on it as well, which allowed it to bounce back out, in fact, to Sangante, who now has the ball once again. Sangante trying to link up with Peque Fernandez in front of him. Doesn't manage to pick him out. So it goes back to Lopez. And this time Sevilla will try and come forward on that left-hand side with Osso trying to find space on the left. Managed to win a throw, which he looked to take quickly there, Osso. Had to wait a moment, though, to allow his team to get back in position, which means that he instead throws backwards. And this time the ball trying to pick out on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side run of Iglesias. Blocked by Iñaki Williams. And now Bechiche passes the ball back into Alvarez, into Paredes, I should say. Wouldn't be surprised if Paredes goes to Alvarez under a little bit of pressure from Ur. And this time he does go over to Alvarez. Alvarez plays it back across the defence to Bechiche. Bechiche knocks forward to Sanchez. And now here's a lovely opportunity for Canales to get himself forward, trying to come through into the middle. Plays it over to Guerin Barrena. Guerin Barrena, who had that shot earlier on the game. This time he gives it over on his right to Alvarez. Alvarez with his foot over the ball, passes back to Paredes on the halfway line. Paredes to Bechiche, who's just very close to him there, coming over from that left-hand side of defence. Bechiche knocks it to his left to Owen Sanchez. Once again, Sanchez goes over to Iñaki Williams, who's right here on the near side. Cuts inside well here. Iñaki Williams making his way towards the edge of the box. Tries to pass it towards Berenguer. A little bit too much on that pass from Iñaki Williams, which meant that Berenguer's touch was just a little bit too heavy, and that allowed Sevilla to clear up to the halfway line, where Athletic will try and build again. And they'll try and get forward once again, and it has to be said that Athletic have been the stronger side at the moment. The hosts enjoying what is their first game of the campaign. They were due to be playing Barcelona. That had to be cancelled due to the very heavy involvement of the Barcelona players, and of course some of these Athletic players, to give credit where it's due, in the summer's competition. And now here comes Owen Sunset once again. Coming up through the middle, gives the ball over to Guerin-Barrena. Guerin-Barrena with a nice ball into Canales. Back to Guerin-Barrena. He knocks it over onto the right-hand side to where Williams is there for it. Williams from the edge of the box takes the shot. And it's easy enough for Odysseas Balcodimos to pick it up, but it's a nice attempt from Iñaki Williams, the captain, over on the right-hand side, who just gathers the ball, Odysseas Balcodimos, at that near side. Second attempt on goal already from Athletic. We haven't really seen anything from Robbie Ure, but now Robbie Ure trying to get forward, knocks the ball backwards. Unai Simon's going to have to pedal back here quickly. It was a nice ball knocked backwards from Robbie Ure as the players come round. Did a little bit of remonstrating with the referee. I don't think they were happy with Ure getting forward there. Trying to see exactly, but the Athletic players immediately surrounded the referee. Now we're going to see exactly what has happened here. Cesar Soto already under pressure from the players. Just see for 1 second exactly as Iñaki Williams guiding his players away from the referee. Going to see again just here what's happened. There's an appeal for a foul, I think, here by the Sevilla players on Sierra. Miguel Sierra goes down just outside the edge of the box, and he does receive a shove in the back. And it's going to be red. The referee's consultation is over, and I think he's assessed that to be a goal-scoring opportunity. Yuri Berchiche, the player for Athletic with the most number of assists last season, is going to be withdrawn. It's a straight red card for Yuri Berchiche for bringing down Miguel Sierra right on the edge of the box. The referee and his officiating team have clearly assessed that to be a goal-scoring opportunity. And with just 12 minutes into this tie, Idan Sercic, the new man in charge in the Barca dugout, has a major tactical decision to make. One of the most important players in this side, Yuri Berchiche, withdrawn on a straight red card, and now Sevilla have themselves a free kick in a very dangerous position. Free kick taken over the top of the crossbar, and that was not a bad kick at all from Oso. In a dangerous position, whipped it up and over, but just couldn't get it to come down in time. Fast delivery. Simon was diving in, or moving, I should say, in the right direction. So what now will be the response from Idan Sercic? Athletic, who have looked better. Incidentally, that was Sevilla's first major attempt on goal so far this game. It won't go down as being on target. What now is the response from Idan Sercic and Athletic? It's very, very early to lose a player, especially one of the influence of Yuri Berchiche, as Peque Fernandez tries to get the game moving forward up the pitch. Sevilla now, you have to think they've got to take advantage. It's a huge numerical advantage. It's going to be exhausting for the Basque players to be this amount of time with the numerical disadvantage as Sangante plays over to Miguel Sierra, the man who won that foul. Sierra coming down the right hand side, looking to exploit that extra bits of pace, knocks it forward to Gueridi. Gueridi tries to play it back, but it's well intercepted, and now Athletic will try and come forward on a quick counter attack. Oh, and Sunset doesn't quite manage to get his legs together and forced to turn the ball backwards to Berenguer, who's there behind him, just holding out in the defence. Now he plays to Simon. Simon under pressure, gives it away, and there's an opportunity, and Sevilla take the lead. And what a series of calamities it has been for the host. It's Oso who is there to convert, as Unai Simon receives the ball under a huge amount of pressure from Berenguer, who in fairness to him is not in his natural position. Berenguer gives the ball back to the goalkeeper. Simon takes a touch. He's forced to release it quickly, and he gives the ball immediately to Oso. And Oso is not going to reject that opportunity. You have to say, Simon's first touch is heavy. He's being hustled to get to the ball from Robbie Ure. And Robbie Ure does really well there just to get in the way of the goalkeeper. That is very good centre-forward play from the Scotsman. Just to make life difficult for Simon. But Simon really, his first touch lets him down there. Now there might be a shout that Ure slightly pushes the goalkeeper. Might have to take another look there. That's what Simon goes to say. He's gesticulating there was a push, but also afforded the golden opportunity. Goal confirmed. Sevilla have a numerical advantage. Now they have a goal advantage as well. It's 15 minutes into the game. It's Sevilla 1, Athletic 1. And if you are just joining us, Sevilla have a man off, Yuri Bichichi, off with a red card, straight red card, after shoving Miguel Sierra in what was deemed to be a goal-scoring opportunity. The free kick came close, but then a mistake as Berenguer passed the ball back to the goalkeeper. Simon took a heavy touch with his right foot. Robbie Ure played on the pressure. The ball was released immediately to Oso, who just had to stroke the ball home. Didn't need to ask him twice. And now the hosts have it all to do, and there's an awful lot of time that they're going to have to try and find a response to this. Not the start that Edin Sercic would have been hoping for, as Guridi dribbles towards the halfway line and then passes to Iglesias. Iglesias plays back into the middle to Sangante. He wants it straight back there, Iglesias, but instead Sangante goes back to his goalkeeper. This game hasn't finished a 0-0 in their last 38 meetings, so we're certainly not on for a goalless draw again. But you think now Sevilla might be tempted to sit back, soak up a little bit of pressure, but they give the ball away there. Sangante, although the heavy touch from Canales allows him to get back into position and quickly mop up before Athletic can get forward. But now Sevilla Athletic will try and come down that left-hand side again, as Guruseta tries to get himself further up the pitch. He manages to win a throw. Will be taken here on the near side, high up the pitch by Berenguer. Berenguer definitely part of the guilty party in that goal. He is now, I guess, filling in that left-back position as well. Berenguer throws the ball long into the box. Sevilla struggling to clear their lines there, and they'll be pleased that the attempt on goal by, I think it is Guruseta who gets on there. We'll have another look. Who actually thinks there's a foul there as well, is way behind for a goal kick. Just trying to take another look here for you. There is an appeal for a foul. It's Arezzo who gets to the ball. And Arezzo immediately goes to the ground in pain. He believes he is caught there by Suazo. No foul given by the referee. And in fact, Jesus Arezzo back up on his feet once again. He did go and roll around on the ground immediately, though. Balcodimos gives the ball over on his left-hand side. That's well blocked, though, by Guillermo Barreno, who now dribbles the ball forward. Here's an opportunity for Sunset arriving to the edge of the box. He tries to play it out onto that right-hand side. Looking to come down this right-hand side. Guillermo Barreno trying to play to Iñaki Williams in the centre. Cleared away by Sevilla for now. An attempt to go back in towards the box, but Sangante makes himself big to block the ball and allow it to go all the way back to Odysseas. Balcodimos are dressed all in yellow for the Andalusian team today. Ball cleared on the right-hand side by the Sevillan goalkeeper. Out for a throw to the visitors, just on the halfway line. Iglesias with the throw. Back to Sangante. Sangante over to Lopez. And Lopez across to Suazo on the left-hand side. There in that pocket of sunshine. Suazo plays it into the middle to Fernandez. That's almost given away, but Lopez there just to mop up, gives the ball over to Sangante. Now to Iglesias, the former Getafe man, runs the ball forward, getting closer and closer to the box. He's enjoying an extra bit of space. Iglesias still going here. He may even be tempted to take a shot. He does take a shot, and Simon has to dive down to his left-hand side, and he parries it behind for a corner. And I tell you what, Juan Iglesias allowed so much time there to run the ball forward. And the man who made his career in the Madrid side Getafe, coming from the B side into the first 11, nearly scoring in his first away starting opportunity, I should say, for Sevilla, as the corner comes in from the near side, headed in towards the arms, grateful gloves of Unai Simon, who tries to clear quickly down that right-hand side for Arezzo. Played back into the centre. Arezzo is tripped there. That'll be a free kick to Athletic and a yellow card. So the referee's book has already been busy so far in this game. This time the yellow card going the way of Peque Fernandez. Athletic coming forward now from the halfway. On the halfway line here, Berenguer. Berenguer plays into the centre of defence, then knocked back towards Paredes, who continues to run. He is brought down by Peque Fernandez, who needs to be a little bit careful. Actually, in fact, it's Robbie Ewer who brings him down, who's not on a yellow card, but still needing to be a little bit careful. Berenguer plays the ball back to his goalkeeper out on the edge of the box. Simon going in towards Canales, who drops back into those defensive positions. Canales over to Guirembarena. Guirembarena tries to release Arezzo high on the right-hand side. Arezzo now coming forward, in with the cross to Sancet. Sancet with the shot, but he can't quite direct it on target. Ohan Sancet, that's better from Athletic, who've looked a little bit lost since the red card. And indeed, since they went a goal down. It's a nice move down the right-hand side from Jesus Arezzo. A good pass, a good cut-back pass into Ohan Sancet, who's in a lovely position. Just misses the outside of the post, though. But that's what they need to be doing. They need to force the pressure on the visitors, who are enjoying a lead and a numerical advantage. Alvarez goes back to Paredes. Paredes into Canales. Canales tries to find a turn on his left, and he does pass well here to Berenguer. Berenguer coming high up the pitch on the near side. Berenguer trying to make his way through. Berenguer up against Iglesias. Does well to get through, but then Iglesias does very well to put the tackle in and pass to Sierra. Sierra's clearance to Ewer on the halfway line. Headed away down by Paredes, and Athletic try to get the ball back up the pitch with a long lofted ball in behind for a throw to Sevilla. Just gives the ball away rather unnecessarily, in my opinion, there. Paredes could have perhaps played a shorter pass, tried to get a bit of momentum going. Instead, he went for the long ball and straight out for a throw. Throw goes back to Balcodimos. Passes on his left-hand side of defence to Lopez. Lopez back into Sangante. Now to Gume. Gume once again over to Lopez. Knocked forward here by Oso. And then back again to Lopez. This time Sevilla try to come on that right-hand side, looking here for the run of Iglesias, who's already caused problems, but it's not quite on target, and Sancet is able to get in the way, but Sierra blocks. Oh, but Sierra is actually pushed slightly off the ball, and that will be a free kick. I think, well, there's a foul, potential foul in the build-up against Sancet. I think the referee has given that one as a free kick. In the meantime, there is a coming together between players on the edge of the box. Now, we're going to have to see exactly what the referee does with this, because immediately tempers flared by both sets of players. Play was initially allowed to continue after the first challenge. Then there was a foul. There was a push of Sierra on the edge of the box. Now the referee's got some decision making to do. Tell you exactly what Cesar Soto is going to decide in just a moment. So just to bring you up to speed, scoreline is Sevilla 1, Athletic 0. Athletic playing with 10 men after the dismissal of Yuri Bechiche for a shove in the back, as Sierra made his way through on goal. Now Sevilla will try and build their way from the back here. Just to confirm, that was a yellow card given to Sierra for the foul on Owen Sanset, but also a yellow card to Guruseta. And I think that's for the subsequent foul there. And now Sevilla play back to Sangante. Sangante plays back to his goalkeeper. And this time Sevilla on the left-hand side to Oso. Oso back to Suazo. Suazo this time over on the right-hand side. That's a lovely ball straight in towards Sierra. Sierra back towards the edge of the box. Sierra tries to take the shot, catches something on the way. And I tell you what, Robbie Ewer's arms immediately went up there. I think he felt there might have been a handball. So we'll just have a little look there. Sierra given the yellow card. Guruseta given the yellow card. There's a little bit of tension early on in this game. A red card already. As Unai Simon gets ready with the goal kick. Sangante forced just to head it back to his goalkeeper, and Odysseus Balcodima, I tell you what, that was a little bit closer than he might have liked. But Odysseus in a good position to pick up the ball from the Senegalese. As now Lopez coming from the back for Sevilla. Plays over to Sangante. And Sangante on the right-hand side to Iglesias. Iglesias trying to get his way past Sanse. He doesn't. That's well won by Sanse. But then Canales is well intercepted by Sierra, who tracked back very well there. And able to pass the ball directly back to his goalkeeper. Well, this here goes to Lopez. Lopez passes short in front of him. Sevilla perfectly happy, it has to be said, with how things are going in this game. In charge of his tie so far. Lopez once again here at the back, in no rush really at the moment, you have to say. Agume over to Suazo. Suazo goes back to Lopez for those in white. Now back into Agume in middle. Iglesias is free on the right hand side. Instead he chips it over on the left hand side towards the runner Suazo. Now an attempt to try and play forward to Robbie Ewer. Robbie Ewer picks it up, lovely little back pedal, time for a shot from outside the box. That's well defended by Paredes. Sevilla will try and come again on a quick counter attack. They play the ball back to Lopez, who's up on the halfway line. Now Sangante coming over on that right-hand side. Iglesias with a lovely ball, not forward, trying to get onto that end of that Sierra. Just a little bit too much in front of him for Sierra to get hold of that. And the ball goes out for a goal kick to Athletic. Simon rolls the ball to Paredes in front of him, who then goes back to Simon. Simon with a clearance towards the halfway line, headed over, or headed in back into the centre by Guruceta. Now back to Guruceta, who's come over here onto this near side. Guruceta with a pass back to Canales. Canales over onto the right hand side in the centre to Alvarez. Alvarez now over to Arezzo. Arezzo back into Alvarez. Once again to Paredes. Athletic trying to find options in front of him. Knocked forward here nicely by Sanset. Sanset tries to pass forward into the run of Guruceta. Guruceta is caught there. I think that's going to be a free kick for direction of Athletic for the foul on Gorka Guruceta. Taken quickly. Berenga coming in towards the edge of the box, trying to find a way past Iglesias. Forced to go backwards. Does manage to pick out Canales with the pass. Canales back to Berenga on this left-hand side. Berenga links up once again with Canales. Canales with the ball in towards the centre, but that's straight to the Sevillan defence. Back out though to Canales once again. Canales trying to figure out who he can pass to. He goes short to Guerembarrena. Guerembarrena with the ball over top, looking to try and find the run of the arriving Arezzo. Cleared away by Sevilla to now, but only straight to Iñaki Williams. Iñaki Williams goes to Alvarez. Alvarez back to Williams. 30 minutes now played of his first half. Williams dribbling the ball towards the corner of the box. Will he take another shot from distance? He puts in the cross, but it's headed away comfortably by Iglesias, who arrives straight out to Athletic once again on the edge, but this time their attempt goes through harmlessly to Balcodimos. And that will be, to be honest, exactly what Sevilla are hoping for right now, with the attack neutralising Sevilla once again giving the ball away. And here's another opportunity for Arezzo to run the ball down that right hand side. Arezzo plays the ball into the centre, but then Guridi is able to get there comfortably and clear it out straight for a throw to the visitors. Sevilla will be absolutely delighted, you think, if they could go in at half-time, the score remaining as it is, leading by a goal. Just have to hope the game doesn't fizzle out, because that can be, of course, dangerous when that happens. If a team does sit back a little bit too much, and I don't seem to be doing that too much at the moment. But you do still feel it is Athletic who are going up more to try and find that goal-scoring opportunity, to try and find their way back into this game. There's Odysseus. With a goal kick. Ball cleared towards Iglesias on that near side. Iglesias can't quite get hold of that one. It's behind for a throw, taken quickly by Berenga. Berenga linking up here with the arriving Canales. And Athletic win themselves another throw right in front of the dugouts. Berenga goes back to Paredes. Paredes plays to Canales into the centre. Canales turns back round and then picks out Alvarez with the pass. Uriah Alvarez over to Arezzo on that right hand side, just up in front of the halfway line. Not forward to Canales, but Canales' pass goes straight to Guridi. Guridi tries to find the path forward to Robilleur. Robilleur, I think, is judged there to be offside. No, in fact, it's called back for a foul on Guridi just before, so Sevilla will have themselves a free kick, within their defensive half. It passed back to Lopez to Sangante. Senegalese turns back with, it was just as Guridi passed the ball looking for Robilleur, but he was caught there. And now here is Sierra. Sierra dribbles the ball into the centre, then passes over on that left-hand side, high in the air, brought down on Suazo's left foot. Suazo then plays back to Lopez. Lopez with the ball right through the centre there. That's lovely. Looking here for the run of Peque Fernandez. Peque Fernandez may be able to get that. He's beaten to it by Berenguer, who does very well to get there in front of him. Although, much to Berenguer's disappointment, it is declared a corner by the referee. Berenguer thought he'd done enough there to prevent the corner. Referee agreeing with his assistant. It is a corner, which is going to be taken here on that near side by Osso, who's come over away from where he's normally playing to take the corner. Peque Fernandez wanted the ball played short. It's not. It's played into the centre of the box. Athletic managed to get clear to where Suazo is there to pick it up. Suazo goes to Sierra. Sierra with the ball, looking towards the box, but far too much on that. And Unai Simon will be very happy to jauntily run over to that and see it go behind for a goal kick with just under 10 minutes on the clock of the first half. The Andalusians in command of this tie so far. Unai Simon getting ready now for the goal kick. Simon clears, looking for Arezzo on that right-hand side. Headed down. Agume picks up a loose ball, goes straight to Guerin-Barrena, and then back to Berenguer. Berenguer passes the ball back to his goalkeeper. I'll tell you what, that's not the best pass from Berenguer. Him and Unai Simon have not been having the best of days linking up together. That was another pass which put the goalkeeper under trouble. But now Iñaki Williams can turn. Iñaki Williams trying to make his way past Suazo. Suazo beats him to it, but it's only out as far as Sanset, who'll try and dribble forward. But this time Agume makes a big tackle. Now Agume will try and dribble forward himself. Agume coming forward at pace. Passes forward well to the left-hand side to Osso. Osso will put the ball into the centre. Brought down by Peque Fernandez towards Sierra, but he's offside, Peque Fernandez, and it'll be a free kick to Athletic Bilbao. Paredes passes back. Yeah, just fairway in front of where he needed to be there. Peque Fernandez did do well to try and bring the ball down with his right hand foot. 3 players on the pitch currently on a yellow card. Fernandez Sierra for Sevilla and Gorka Guruseta also on a yellow card. Second time Fernandez in fact has run offside. The ball is tried to play forward to the run of Arezzo. Well dealt with by Suazo, who plays it back inside to Lopez. Now to Osso, but Osso is intercepted there by Iñaki Williams. Williams coming in towards the centre. Williams trying to put forward to Guruseta. That's well defended by Lopez. And then Suazo will come over to help out, but given away once again to Williams. Williams on the edge of the box. He's caught there by Guridi. No foul, says the referee. Guridi tries to clear towards Robilleur. Robilleur is brought to the ground by Alvarez. Referee continues to wave play on. He's had a busy day so far, Cesar Soto. As Athletic with Berenguer. Berenguer back inside to Canales. Canales dribbling forward well. Canales still going it in towards the centre. Caught by Guridi. Still going by Canales. This time, though, it's Sangante who gets in his way, and that will be a free kick right in the centre, just a couple of yards in front of the box. That's good moving play by Peo Canales, and it's exactly what Sevilla need to, or Athletic, I should say, need to be doing, forcing, drawing out the foul from Aruana Sangante, leading to a free Athletic in what is potentially a dangerous position if they can get a shot on target here. It's exactly what they need to be doing now to try and bring about a change. Odysseus giving instructions to his wall, working out the orientations between the posts. Just one man over it at the moment. That's Berenguer. Berenguer's ball played towards the far post, and it goes straight behind for a goal kick. That is disappointing from the Bas team and from Berenguer. Looking for a little bit of redemption, it has to be said, after his involvement in the pass to Simon that led to the goal. And that's not the best ball really to be doing exactly that. Sevilla coming forward from the goal kick down the near side. Just under 10 minutes remaining of the first half. The think a second goal would really put this game to bed if they could get one before the first half whistle is blown. Athletic managed to get the ball back to Simon. Simon plays straight out to Alvarez. Alvarez plays back to his goalkeeper. Simon on the edge of his box. Simon's clearance goes onto that left-hand side. Guruseta receives a push, and I think that's going to be a free kick. That will be a free kick as Guruseta is pushed to the ground by Sangante. Referee immediately to blow his whistle. Canales takes the free kick and passes over to Berenguer. Berenguer goes back inside to Canales. Canales over on the near side again to Berenguer. Berenguer, will he be able to get past Iglesias to put the ball in the box? He goes back to Canales. Canales flicks the ball back to Guirambarrena. Guirambarrena back over to Canales. Athletic not quite able to find a path into the box. They try now, but this time Agume able to get in the way, put it out for a throw. Berenguer takes the throw quickly on the near side, back to Canales. Canales to Guirambarrena. Guirambarrena to Canales now. Canales dribbles the ball inside, forced to pass backwards though to Paredes. Paredes looks for Arezzo on the far side. Arezzo chests the ball down. He's tackled though by Osso. Wins the throw though in the altercation there with Osso. Athletic just looking a little bereft of options as they get themselves forward. Sevilla doing well at holding their shape, using that numerical advantage as best they possibly can. Here is Canales once again to Berenguer on the left-hand side. Managed to wake his way past Sierra as he charged himself in. Plays the ball in towards the middle to Sanset. Sanset trying to get forward. Ball comes out to Williams, who manages to get the shot. And Valcodimos gets down to his left-hand side. And it's a relatively comfortable save for the Greek goalkeeper. Not quite the connection that Iñaki Williams would have been looking for with the ball there. And you wonder in the second half, will Edin Sercic be forced to bring on his brother, not Cercic's brother, but Williams' brother, to try and make a change. The ball played forward here. Peque Fernandez bringing it down on the edge of the box. He's going to try and find Robbie Ure. Oh, he can't quite pick out Robbie Ure with the pass. There's an offside anyway. Not sure if the offside was against Peque Fernandez or against Robbie Ure. Guerrini thought he received a high boot from Uri Alvarez. I wonder actually if that's what the whistle was blown for in what has been a tense affair. But Peque Fernandez was offside there as well. There's potentially a foul on Guerrini before that, but the decision on the field is for the offside against Peque Fernandez. That's the third time he's gone offside in attacking build-up play so far from the 23-year-old. Formerly of the Barca Athletic youth product as well. Athletic trying to come forward. There's a chance for a shot. Oh, and I tell you what, that wasn't far away. That attempt from Guruseta, just taken outside the box. Came out of nowhere almost as Sevilla didn't quite clear their lines. And now Berenguer plays the ball back to his keeper. We get a chance to have another look at the goal. That was exactly that, the bad link up between Berenguer and Simon, and that heavy touch from Unai Simon. And now Osso on the far side plays the ball into the centre to Agume. Agume back to Osso down that left hand side. Now coming forward, look for Fernandez in the centre. Not managing to find him there, and then there's a chance here for Sanset to get a movement forward for Athletic. Trying to pick out Williams. Well dealt with though by Suazo, getting back well there. And here's another chance for Sevilla to get themselves forward. Bodies getting forward. Uri's there in the centre, played out left to Osso. Osso with a ball across the face of the box. And it looked like he was going for a bit more of a shot there, Osso. He had options in the box had he chosen to pick them up, and I don't think Luis Garcia is particularly happy with the option that he did choose in the end. Goes straight out for a goal kick. For a throw to the Barca team. The 45 minutes nearly elapsed on the clock. As the throw goes straight to Sevilla bodies, that's a bit of a giveaway Sangante comfortably able to knock the ball back to Gueridi, and now to Suazo. Suazo links up with Osso, who then goes back to Gueridi. Gueridi perfectly happy to play the ball back to Lopez in defence. Over to Sangante. 3 minutes will be added on. Sangante's ball long through down the channel. Simon forced to come out to the edge of his area there to pick up with the arriving Peque Fernandez. Nearly took a step outside his box as well. He had to be careful there, Unai Simon, as he was forced to get forward or get outside to the edge of his box very quickly. He now takes his clearance, goes through the centre. Guruseta knocks onto Iñaki Williams. Beaten to it though by Lopez. The two players come together. They appear to have hurt each other slightly, and I think the referee will have to blow his whistle there for a potential head injury on Lopez, who's now back up on his feet. Andres Lopez just comes together with Iñaki Williams. It's a standard coming together of heads, but it is the protocol in those situations, of course, for the referee to stop play. But cameras do now show us images of Nico Williams. He may be a necessary addition in this second half for Edin Sercic's side, who is struggling a little bit now to get really meaningful attacking opportunities, and they'll need to think about this in the second half. Iñaki Williams forced to go to the sides along with Andres Lopez. That's the protocol, because both men did come together. Williams is not happy about that. He said he remained on his feet the whole time, and I think he's got a point. Meanwhile, the drop ball is played, given to Suazo on the far side. He comes inside to Gueridi. Gueridi plays into the centre to Fernandez. He gives it straight back to Gueridi. This time back to Lopez, who is now back on the pitch. Ball played on the right to Iglesias, who had that great opportunity earlier on in the first half, dribbling the ball from well within his own half. Luis Garcia will be very happy to see his men going like this. It will be 6 points from 2 games if they can keep things as it currently stands. Athletic has the throw. We're coming to the end of those 3 minutes now. Is there one more chance that they might have to get forward? Good clearance from Sangante, knocked down by Robbie Ure. Robbie Ure tried to release Peque Fernandez, but there's a foul on Paredes, which prevents the quick getaway there, and the quick link up between Ure and Peque Fernandez. And it is true, there's an elbow in the face of Aito Paredes, as Athletic, with their final opportunity of this half. Sunset tries to come through, cleared away for now by Sevilla to the halfway line. Is there one more opportunity? Guirén-Barrena holds up the play on the halfway line. Guirén-Barrena dribbles forward, knocks it towards Arezzo. Now back to Guirén-Barrena. Guirén-Barrena plays it into the centre to Lopez, to Alvarez I should say. Alvarez twists and turns, tries to find back to Guirén-Barrena through the centre, but Sevilla win themselves a free kick there for a foul on Osso. That surely will now be the end of the first half. Osso just caught there by Arezzo. And that now is the end of the first half. A disappointing affair for the hosts on the first outing of this campaign. A red card to Yuri Bacice early on in the game, and then a mistake in defence in which Unai Simon gave the ball straight to Osso, who was able to stroke the ball home, and that's allowed the Andalusian Sevilla to go in at the half-time with a numerical advantage and a goal advantage. It's Athletic 0, Sevilla 1.
But welcome back to our unofficial and studio-based commentary, bringing you all the action from the Spanish domestic league. And we've been following the events as they unfolded in the Basque Country, where Athletic Club are currently trailing by 1-0 against Sevilla, and it has not been the ideal start for the new manager in the dugout for the team from Bilbao. An early red card for Yuri Berchiche after he pushed Sierra in the back, through on goal, deemed a goal-scoring opportunity, and a red card, meaning that for the vast majority of this first half, Athletic have been playing with just 10 men, and I think it's fair to say that Sevilla have done well at exploiting the numerical advantage. They haven't exactly looked like scoring the second, but they have also been very comfortable at neutralising the Athletic opportunities at getting forward. That goal, scored by Osso on the 15-minute mark, just moments after the red card, was a mistake when Berenguer passed the ball back to his goalkeeper. Simon took a heavy touch with his right foot. Robbie Ure, the Scotsman, joining up from Sirius in the summer, put the pressure on the keeper. The keeper's pass went straight through to the midfielder, and Osso, which in English means bear, was able to bear his way through on goal. Sorry for that pun, as I said it, I regretted it. Was able to bear his way through on goal and score an all too easy goal for Los Nervioneses. And so that's how we head into the first half, with Sevilla in front. But don't discount Athletic finding a way of getting back into this game. There are options on the bench for them, of course, as well. The main one quite possibly being Nico Williams. There's also Navarro available on the bench as well if they choose to make changes. But it is tricky. With only 10 men, Berenguer's seen himself having to drop back much more into that left-back defensive position to take the role of Yuri Berchiche. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some sort of change in this second half from the hosts in order to try and find a way back into this game. Players just finishing off the preparations now, with the second half just moments away. And don't forget, if you are tuning in, that if your domestic coverage has this game on your TV, then of course you can be watching there. But if not, then to remind you, my name is Simon Walters, and it's a real pleasure to be here alongside you this afternoon, getting ready for the second half. It does look like there will be changes potentially from both teams as well. I can see a new signing, Giorgi Kotsavili, warming up there as well, so we might expect to see him on the pitch today, having joined for a fee in the region of €4 million. Sevilla have spent a total of around €12 million in the break. Certainly not as much as some other European countries, particularly in England, where the spending seems to be pretty rife. Sevilla's 12 million, relatively modest compared to what we're seeing in England. As the players now getting back ready, and I tell you what, we're getting a shot here of the tunnel. There is a sort of a steel structure dividing the hosts and the visitors. I guess tension in the dugout. There's also armed security guards in there as well. So tension in the dugout is not something that we are immune from in this stadium. Navarro also there warming up, so that might be an attacking change. And the camera also showing us Nico Williams wearing the training jersey still, but he is back. Another player with a fantastic summer, of course, involved in that moment which saw Spain take glory. And I can see for Sevilla that it looks like Ejuke is getting himself ready. Didn't quite see who the other player was there, but it does look like we will have a double change at the start of this second half. for the visitors. Get you that exact confirmation as the officiating team ready to display, but one of those changes appears to be Romero. I wonder if that will be for Peque Fernandez, who has wandered offside a few times. Maybe Romero will partner up with Robbie Ure. It's actually going to be a triple change. Guillén, another one of those changes coming on for Sevilla. The third change, haven't quite seen who that third change is just yet. So Sierra out, Ejuke on. Nico Guillén on, Peque out. Peque Fernandez, I should say. And Girdi out. So that would be Guillén replacing Girdi. Fernandez being replaced by Romero. So I wouldn't be surprised if they drop into a 4-4-2 formation right now. And Ejuke on for Sierra. It's another player on a yellow card. So a triple change. It's not so often that you see so many changes at half-time, but I guess Luis Garcia wants to make sure that his players use the numbers to their advantage to get that second goal and really put this tie to bed, because the bringing on of Romero especially is an attacking change. Isaac Romero, the 26-year-old. There's a Goumet now brought down there, and that'll be an early free kick for Sevilla. Athletic now going left to right. It's caught by Guruceta, I think, there, and they're coming together, but nothing malicious whatsoever from Guruceta. Played back now to Simon, who has to race out to the edge of the box. His clearance could be a little bit better, and that's knocked on to Guillén. Guillén fighting for it here in the middle of the park. Guillén just about manages to get the ball back to a Goumet under a lot of pressure there, but Guillén already looking lively since coming onto the pitch. Manages to pass to Ejuke down that right-hand side. Ejuke running his way forward, does well to hold possession and cut inside, but actually not as well as I gave him credit to, because it will be a free kick to Athletic. And I tell you what, Simon may not have been grateful to once again pick up a pass. This time it was from Paredes, which forced him to be under pressure from the oncoming Robbie Ure, who doesn't have a goal to his name since joining Sevilla, but he was involved in that goal. He was putting the pressure on the keeper. He was in a very good position to force Simon into the mistaken pass, and has looked good so far, as Guillén once again put in the pressure, forcing Athletic to go all the way back to their goalkeeper. Simon looks for Arezzo on the near side. Arezzo brings the ball well under his control and works his way past Osso, and then turns and passes behind him to Yeri Alvarez. Yeri Alvarez into Paredes. Paredes now over onto that left-hand side to Berenguer. No changes from Athletic. That, I think, is somewhat surprising, given the fact that they are down a goal. They're trying to find Williams with the ball. That's well cleared, or well intercepted, I should say, by Lopez. The clearance perhaps not quite as good as the bringing it down on his chest to intercept that well from Lopez. Now Sevilla try and get forward out of their own half. Romero trying to chase that one down. Adjudged to just gone out of play before Isaac Romero could get there. So Arezzo takes the throw. He throws back to Paredes. Paredes over to Berenguer. Berenguer knocks the ball forward in front of him to Guruceta. It's time back to Paredes as they're unable to find a way through. Who knocks it forward to Canales. Canales back to Alvarez. Yeri Alvarez dribbles the ball towards the halfway line. Still going here well at Alvarez, and now it's a nice ball forward on the right hand channel. Arezzo will try and chase this one down, but that's some very good defensive work by Osso, who makes himself big. I'll tell you what, he's not the biggest player on the pitch, Osso, but he does well as he just sort of gets his body in the way. Bit of a shove, has to be said, to Arezzo. But nothing that makes the referee think any kind of free kick is required. And it goes behind for a goal kick, which Odysseus is there to take. But that was good work by the midfielder, tracking back well to keep his team firmly in command as things currently are. As Sunset tries to fight for the ball in the middle of the park, wins a throw, taken quickly. Athletic throw backwards. Paredes going all the way backwards to his goalkeeper, who's outside of his box. Simon picks out Berenguer. Berenguer knocks the ball forward as Sunset is fighting for it against Agume. Agume getting a bit too much body in that, so a free kick taken quickly for Athletic Bilbao, and that's a waste that goes straight out for a throw. Trying to link into the run of Canales, but that was a disappointing pass. And Athletic not quite starting this second half as they would have liked. No real sign of changing how things currently are so far from the past team. They remain behind in this tie. And the moment you would have to say actually 1-0 probably feels like the scoreline you would predict. Sevilla will be quite happy to sit back, even though they did make a couple of attacking changes, especially the introduction of Isaac Romero. This time given away once again by Sevilla. Oso knocks the ball forward into Romero. Now Romero turns well. That's great from Romero. Now a lovely ball forward to Ejuke. Ejuke arriving in the ball. Ejuke still going. Chips the goalkeeper and Ejuke scores. And that is 2-0. Sevilla have surely now put this game to bed. It's lovely work from Romero, who I just mentioned had been there to add a little bit of attacking options. It's a great ball forward to Ejuke. It's a perfectly timed pass, it has to be said, from Romero. And Ejuke, so calm. He's only just come on, but he does brilliantly to chip the keeper. Now there is a check going to be happening here, so bear with me just a moment or two. Celebrations still from those in white, but it's given away way too easily by Guerin-Barrena. Romero picks up the ball in the halfway lane. He does really well to run through. It's a lovely pass to Ejuke, who's definitely onside from what I can see. And then Ejuke dribbles forward and so calm. And as Simon comes out, Ejuke just lifts it over him. And that, I tell you what, if you talk about effective substitutions, one sub getting the assist, the other one scoring, that triple change looking very, very good. And Chidera Ejuke, the Nigerian, who's been with Sevilla after joining from Antwerp in the 24-25 campaign, has his first goal of this season, and that is a strong start to this second half for the Andalusians. Athletic now have it all to do in the second half. They're going to have to dig mighty deep to find themselves a response in this game. They try now to pick up Williams. Williams turns his man well as Oso unable to prevent him getting through. And now chance for Athletic to come forward through to the far post. Guruseta tries to put the ball in towards the centre. The Sayers' save is just about cleared by Ejuke, but Athletic have a bit of space here to try and have another go. Alvarez linking up with Paredes, but not going forward. Paredes puts his arm up to tell him to go forward. This time, Alvarez puts the ball in towards the centre. Headed away for now, but out to Paredes. Once again, Paredes again trying to put the ball in the centre, but it's comfortably headed away by Agume. Agume's head goes to Oso. Oso makes the clearance towards the halfway line. Ur tries to fight for that clearance. It's headed forward instead into the feet of Canales. Canales managed to find Paredes behind him. Paredes to get in Barrena. Barrena back to Paredes. Guerin-Barrena back to Paredes. Now Guerin-Barrena once again. Nice forward ball to Canales. Canales tries a little give and go with Williams, but Lopez sees that one all the way and puts it out for a throw. But he is reprimanding his teammates about the fact that Athletic did find themselves with a little bit of space there, and that's what they want to be avoiding the visitors. Arezzo throws short. Back to him, looking up with Guerin-Barrena. Back to Guerin-Barrena on the edge of the box. Guerin-Barrena's attempted cross is headed straight behind by Oso for a corner. And Oso putting in a decent shift in this second half in defensive work. He has the opening goal, of course. And now he's proving his value to the team defensively. Canales getting himself ready with the corner here on the near side. Canales' ball in towards the centre. Guruceta arriving, but he mistimes that. And now here's a great opportunity for Sevilla to get themselves forward quickly. Guyen with the pass from Sangante. Guyen doesn't manage to find who he was looking for with the pass. It's well intercepted. Now Athletic will have a go at coming up with a quick counter-attack. I say they'll have a go. They in fact turn the ball backwards. You would have thought there could have been a little bit more urgency from Athletic to have a go getting forward quickly as Arezzo links up with Canales. Canales goes back to Paredes. Need to see just a little bit more of that fight and determination from the host if they are to have any opportunity to make a route back into this game. It's all about Sevilla at the moment. Berenguer also going backwards to Paredes. Paredes into Canales on the halfway line. Back to Paredes. But this time dribbles a little bit further forward and now passes to Berenguer. Berenguer attempts to put the ball forward. He's looking for the run of Sanced, but it's well defended by Suazo. Out for a throw. Athletic take the throw quickly to the halfway line. Getting Barrena in the centre to Canales. Dribbles the ball forward now with the ball linking up to try and find Guruceta. Guruceta is beaten to it, and here's a chance for Sevilla to try and run forward quickly with Romero. Romero intercepted, and now another opportunity for Athletic on the quick counter-attack down the left-hand side. Arriving into the box is Berenguer. Well tackled by Iglesias. Out towards the edge of the box on the centre, over to Arezzo. Arezzo looking for the ball aerially, that's well headed by Sangante, but it only comes out to Guruceta, but Guruceta's touch is far, far, far too heavy. And the man from the Basque Country puts it straight behind for a goal kick. It's another disappointing attack from Athletic, who have found themselves the opportunities to get forward, but they're just lacking a little bit of quality at the moment to really take advantage of the opportunities. But if you talk about quality, getting another chance here to have a look at that goal really is it's a delightful, cheeky finish from Cedere Juque. Makes it look easy, but there's nothing easy about chipping the goalkeeper. And it's the sort of thing which, if it backfires, you do look like you have egg on your face. But now another opportunity. Romero with a shot. Romero scored! Would you believe it? Isaac Romero has made it 3 for Sevilla, and that is game, set and match. We were enjoying a highlight of the second goal. In the meantime, Sevilla were on their way up the pitch, and it's Isaac Romero. What an influence he has had since coming on. It's a quick counter-attacking move from Sevilla, but Athletic should have cleared. Arezzo needs to have done better, but he gives the ball away to allow Sevilla to put it right back into the centre. And Isaac shoots with his left-hand foot. And this is not looking good whatsoever for the hosts. Also does really well to put the ball back to Romero, who's there in a perfect position. And this is a dream start to the season for Sevilla. That's now 5 goals they've scored and only 1 conceded. Now Athletic will be making changes, and I tell you what, it's necessary. I don't know if they're going to be able to do much at this point. Guruceta is one of those players who's come off. Arezzo is out. Laporte is in. Whether that means Laporte will play him at right-hand side, I'm not sure, or whether there'll be a change there. Iñaki Williams is the other player who is off, and he's replaced by Sanadi. Just for 2 changes, you would have thought maybe it's worth having a go and making a few other adjustments to the team, but Eden Sercic for now is only interested in making 2 changes. And I'll tell you what, looking at the crowd, it is euphoria
in the away stand. It's a warm afternoon in Spain, so no need for shirts, or that's what the fans say. Sunset knocks it back here to Sanadi. Athletic try to play the ball in towards the centre. Agume gets in the way of that one. Agume tries to also orchestrate the clearance, and he wins a free kick there as well. That's very good work by Lucien Agume. Well, the last two goals by Guridi and Peke, both of whom are not on the pitch in the game against Rayo Vallecano, were scored from the penalty spot. Now 3 goals from open play, as Athletic tried to come down the left-hand side, an opportunity to put the ball into the box, but again, Sevilla do really well at preventing coming through, and the ball goes harmlessly and back to the man in yellow, who has had to make a few saves in this game. Hasn't been too busy, but he has done well, the Greek, with anything that's been presented. His clearance looks for scorer of the second goal, Juke. Juke's head goes straight back to Beringer. Beringer, who's now come over on the right-hand side, and I'll try and tell you exactly how we've seen a tactical change, as Nico Williams, who has come on now as well. Nico Williams dribbling around towards the edge of the box. Nico Williams coming in really well from the left-hand side. It's Nico Williams who has replaced Iñaki Williams, brother for brother. That was the third change. I thought it was only a double change. It did turn out that Nico also came on. So Nico for Iñaki, Sanari for Gurusetti, and Laporte for Arezzo were the 3 changes which were made by Edin Sercic. Yeri Alvarez passes the ball back to his goalkeeper. Unai Simon makes the clearance towards Beringer. Sanadi tries to head that one, beaten to it though by Guillen, but Sanadi picks up that loose ball, but the referee has already blown his whistle for a foul on Guillen. It is just not going the way that Athletic would have wanted. This time Guillen Barrena, perhaps a tad unfortunate. He does go in with his body, but you see those challenges not always given, but the referee this time judging Guillen Barrena guilty of the foul. Sevilla play down towards their defence once again, in no rush, but you know, they might as well go for even more glory now, and that's well brought down by Romero. Romero arriving into the box, but Laporte doing well there to get in his way and just turn the ball back to his goalkeeper, the experienced defender. Played football, of course, in England and in the Saudi leagues. Now here, plying his trade in the Basque country, in the beautiful city of Bilbao. In fact, they really are 2 beautiful cities we have, don't we? If you've been lucky enough to visit either Bilbao or Sevilla, 2 of the most beautiful cities in the world. As Athletic once again give the ball away to Sangante. He passes to Lopez. Lopez runs the ball forward. Suazo now turns the ball to Guillen in the centre. Guillen goes back to Lopez. Lopez switches the ball over on the right-hand side to Ejuke. Does well to bring that down. Ejuke, can he get past Laporte? No, he can't. But Athletic unable to clear past Agume. Agume continues to push further up. Agume puts the ball in towards the centre. He's looking for Robbie Ure, who's after that first goal. It's dealt with by Alvarez, who passes to Canales. Canales also beaten by Agume. Athletic just about managed to get hold of the second ball and then win themselves a quick free kick in the process. Well within their own defensive half. Passes back to Alvarez. All the way back to Unai Simon on the edge of his box. Simon's clearance goes through the centre, headed down by Sanari, but Sanari's head goes straight to Nico Guillen. Suazo now dribbling the ball forward towards the ball. He's doing well here, Suazo. Puts the ball in the centre. Lovely little turn from Romero. Romero could have given it to Robbie Ure there. Just manages to lose out of possession, but Athletics attempted quick clearance is again given away by a misplaced pass. This time it was Guillen Barrena who didn't quite find Sanari with the pass, and now a chance for Osso down on the near side. Puts it back inside to Guillen. Guillen receives a push in the back from Sanari, no foul given, but Sevilla can still come forward here. Osso fighting for it against Guillen Barrena. Ultimately Berenguera gets in front of Oso. No foul given, which I think is fair because Oso committed a very similar challenge earlier on in this game. You can see the manager of the Spanish national side, the trophy-laden manager of the Spanish national side, is in attendance here this afternoon, and I'm sure there'll be a few interesting pieces of data he might be gathering from. This is Sangante fighting for it against Nico Williams. Williams doing really well there to turn, win possession, then passes back to Canales. Canales goes back to Williams. Williams with the cross in towards the centre, goes all the way out to Laporte on the left-hand side, who puts the ball back into Guerren Barrena on the corner of the box. Guerren Barrena still going here. Will he have a shot? Guerren Barrena has the shot, but it's straight into the gloves of Odysseus Balcodimos, who will be more than happy to get down in that sort of Z stop, take the pace off the ball and make a comfortable save. And that isn't how Athletic will get back into this game. It's not a bad attempt by Guerren Barrena, but really a comfortable save for Balcodimos, who has the ball once again. His clearance goes high, looking in towards Romero. Romero tries to nod it to Ejuke, but Paredes is able to get in the way there and turn the ball back to his goalkeeper. Simon's clearance headed down by Agume, all the way back to Yeri Alvarez. Yeri Alvarez once again back to Simon, who'll try and have another go at this one. To Laporte now. Laporte with the ball out to Williams on that left-hand side. Williams cutting inside. This is where he can be so dangerous. Berenguer wants it on the right-hand side. He goes to Sanse, trying to link back up with Williams. Sangante's in the way, and this time they try and find the ball quickly through to Sanade, but again, just missing that little bit of quality. Both Sanade and Berenguer unable to get on the end of Sanset's pass there. This opportunity missed once again for the host. Williams has added that degree of danger. We know his quality, we know his pace, but the team in general just hasn't quite gelled together. Simon forced to clear from the edge of his box. Sanadi brings it down, but goes straight to Guillen. Guillen tries to knock forward to the run of Robbie Ure. The clearance comes straight back out to Ejuke. Ejuke turns well and then passes to Iglesias. Back into Ejuke. The two of them link up together. Iglesias plays back to Sangante. Sangante with a cross over on the left-hand side. Not the best ball that the Senegalese will ever play there. And Berenguer now in that right-back position. Picks up the ball. Passes back to Simon. Simon clears in towards the centre. Sanadi will try and head it down. He doesn't get on the end of it, but he does manage to pick up the loose ball. Guerren Barrena. Barrena goes back to Laporte. Laporte plays up the pitch to Nico Williams. Williams dribbling down the left-hand side against Iglesias. Williams does really well to get through here, still racing towards the byline, although it looks like Iglesias managed to win that battle. I thought he'd managed to get the goal kick out of it as well. Referee Cesar Soto confirms instead, though, that that will be a corner. This is the sort of opportunity that Athletic need. One goal might just about turn the Andalusian tide. It will be Nico Williams who won the corner to take it on the far side. Laporte up there in the box. Williams' corner. Headed just about out by Robbie Ure for now. Goes towards the touchline. Laporte trying to fight for it by the corner flag. And he concedes the throw to Sevilla. Does he? I think it has gone Sevilla's way, the throw there. And now another chance for a Sevillan change. And it looks like it will be Carmona coming on here, replacing Sangante. So change at the back with Jose Angel Carmona coming on. Carmona, who was with the Sevilla youth team, then had a bit of time at both Elche and Getafe.
before returning to Sevilla in the 24-25 campaign. So right back by trade Carmona, but he can play in the centre-back position. I wonder if we'll see Iglesias come into the centre, but he has looked good in that more right-hand position of the defence. Or whether Carmona will just switch into the centre. We'll try and take a look at that for you very shortly. As Athletic Bilbao with Guerin Barrena. Guerin Barrena knocks forward to Canales. Canales dribbling forward really well. Pass out on the right-hand side to Berenguer. Berenguer back inside to Yeri Alvarez. Back out to Berenguer. Can Athletic carve a path in the wall? That's a nice ball. Looking forward for the run of Canales. Canales doing really well to keep it in play. Here's an opportunity. Sunset tries to take the shot, but that is huge defensive work from Agume to get in his way. And he sees the ball go behind for a corner as a result. Sunset with a massive opportunity there. It's actually Lopez's defensive work there. Agume slid in, but it's off Lopez and behind for a corner. Can Athletic do anything here? Out towards the far post. Ball got free, and this time Athletic have a route back into the game. It's Paredes who has done it from the set piece. Aita Paredes finally gives Athletic something to cheer, although looking at the reaction of the crowd, it's a fairly muted celebration. It's a fairly muted celebration on the pitch as well. It comes from a corner, and the centre-back for Athletic, Aita Paredes, has given them the smallest of lifelines. Berenguer's corner isn't dealt with, and then Paredes is peeling off at the far post, and he finds himself in acres of space. No one's picking up on him, and he is in the perfect position and the perfect time. Aita Paredes, and Athletic have 20 minutes and 10 men to try and find 2 goals to get themselves a route back into this competition. It seems unlikely, but anything can happen. I have to say there, I was surprised at how muted the celebrations were, as Guillen's ball is given away there straight to Nico Williams. If Athletic could get a very quick second goal here as well, that could really change proceedings. Canales fighting for it, but he loses out to Oso. Oso cuts back inside to Romero. Romero dribbles through the centre, tries to knock the ball forward to Robbie Ure. I think there's just a bit too much on it, and Laporte will come up and mop up before Robbie Ure can get to that one. Now played forward to Guerin Barrena. Barrena across into the centre to the goal scorer, to Paredes. Now to Nico Williams. Williams inside to Sunset. Back to the arrival of Paredes on the halfway line. This time Paredes goes over to Guerin Barrena. Guerin Barrena over to Nico Williams on that far side. Williams trying to forge a path here past Carmona, who does appear to have filled in that right back position now, with Iglesias looking to be perhaps a little bit more central. Playing forward here to Sunset. Sunset trying to turn his way past Agume. Agume does well to prevent him from getting through and concedes the throw to Athletic in their attacking area. Yeri Alvarez in the centre of defence knocks it forward to Guerin Barrena, who goes over to Berenguer, who perhaps redeems himself slightly with that excellent corner delivery, causing problems for Sevilla. Guerin Barrena once again. This time he goes over to Paredes. Paredes plays the ball through into the centre. Sanadi's touch is a little bit heavy and is given away to Lopez, and here is potentially an opportunity for Sevilla to get forward. Oso tries to play the ball long towards the run of Robbie Ure. Not the best ball back though from Oso, and he goes straight to the Athletic goalkeeper on his edge of the box. Simon rolls it out to Laporte. Laporte goes over to Paredes, who plays the ball straight back to his goalkeeper. Simon far out of his area, plays to Yeri Alvarez. Alvarez back into Paredes, and the urgency that we wanted to see after that Athletic goal is perhaps not quite achieving the extent I would have liked to have seen, to have tried to push for a quick second goal as Athletic try to find Berenguer. Berenguer manages to win a throw in fighting for it against Suazo, who remains down on the deck, and the referee will stop play there with Suazo in pain in the coming together. The Chilean captain, not really sure how Berenguer caught him there.
but he is still on the ground. The captain receiving treatment, and that'll allow a change to be made for Athletic. Looks like it will be Rincon coming on. And it's Paredes, the goal scorer, who is out, and he casts a rather disappointed, dejected countenance as he does make his way to the dugout. Meanwhile, Suazo is still down there. What looks like a bit of cramp the way they're stretching him, and this could be now as we approach the 75-minute mark. Maybe just starting to think about the clock running down ever so slightly here for Los Nervioneses. They're 3-1 up. The goal from Athletic not quite changing proceedings as much as they might have hoped. That being said, the XG is remaining higher for Athletic. They currently are on an XG of 1.16. That's compared to Sevilla's 0.41. So maybe, just maybe, there is an opportunity as Berenguer launches the throw long from the right hand side. Suazo is still off the pitch in the meantime. Guillen tries to get clear, only out to Guillen-Barrena. Guillen-Barrena just about manages to hold up, and then he passes well out on the right hand side. And now Berenguer looks towards to make towards the byline. Berenguer doing really well here. Rincon offers the pass. Rincon is there. Nice give and go between him and Berenguer. Well, Rincon's pass is a little bit behind Berenguer, but he's still managing to keep it down in play on the right hand side when he goes to ground under the challenge by Osso. But in comes Guillen-Barrena, and Guillen has to get in front of Guillen-Barrena there as he puts the cross towards the centre, and Nico Guillen sends it behind for a corner. Well, this is where the goal came from Athletic. Could another good delivery cause problems? Looks like it will be. Berenguer once again with the delivery. Berenguer's delivery headed away by Agume, only out towards the edge of the box. Berenguer will pick up the pass, knocks it forward to Rincon. Rincon tries to put the cross, but again it's sent behind for a corner. This time it's Agume who gets in his way. There is some pressure at the moment from Athletic. There's still time, 15 minutes plus whatever is added on by our officiating team. One more goal could change everything. Yeray Alvarez, who's now wearing the captain's armband after Iñaki Williams was withdrawn, is having a word with the referee, while Berenguer gets himself ready to take this corner. And I think what they're asking about was there a handball by Agume? That's what the check, I presume, is here. Referee is still having a word with his team in his ear. He's not going over to the screen at the moment. Now the corner will be taken. Check cleared as Berenguer readjusts the position of the ball. Sorry, I used that Spanish rolling R just there for a second. Berenguer with the corner. Goes far towards the back post. Headed out towards the edge of the box. Guillen forces the ball all the way back to Unai Simon, who's out pretty much on the halfway line. Simon's clearance looking for Nico Williams, but Agume heads it out before, Juke in fact heads it out before Williams can get there. Williams takes the throw quickly in towards Oan Sanset. Sanset in the middle to Guillen-Barrena. Now to Rincon, getting forward. He's got Berenguer to his right. That's who he goes for. Berenguer with the cross. I think Odysseus will claim that one comfortably. He does claim that one comfortably. And that's a little bit of disappointment there. The delivery, not the best, and a fairly easy pass. Or a fairly easy cross for Odysseus to deal with. I wonder if he went to see the new movie by a certain Hollywood director that's been on our screens of late with his namesake. I would say the Greek goalkeeper has had a considerably easier afternoon in the most part than the creation of Homer's mythology. It's Canales. Take a quick free kick just inside, or on the halfway line, I should say. Canales' pass goes to Laporte. Laporte plays to Williams on that left-hand side. Williams back inside to Laporte. Laporte tries to knock forward to Sanset. Sanset can't quite get past to Goumet. Goumet's pass comes back up to Robillard. Robillard tries to release Duque. Not the best pass from Robillard. Allows Alvarez to get back quickly, mop up that one, and then pass over to Rincon. Rincon, who passes straight back to his goalkeeper. Simon out on the edge of his area, trying to propel his team forward. A goal by Aito Paredes has given the slimmest of opportunities for the Barça team to get back into this game. Yeri Alvarez in the centre of defence, passes back to his goalkeeper Simon, out to Berenguer. Berenguer will dribble the ball forward here towards the halfway line, cuts inside with a pass to Rincon. Rincon couldn't quite bring that one under control, although he does manage to find Alvarez. Alvarez is tripped there. He thinks he was fouled. He's not happy with that. Thumps the air in frustration. Needs to be careful, Yeri Alvarez. Well, I think potentially he had a case, but maybe just for coming together of the two players. Sevilla clear on the right hand side. Duque will try and chase it down a little bit too much on that one. Goes out behind for a throw. We have 10 minutes remaining on the clock. Simon on the edge of his box. Plays over to Laporte. Laporte will dribble forward. Bides his time and then passes back to Simon. You still think you want to see a little bit more urgency from those in red and white. The Lions, when are they going to channel all those values associated with their animal? Canales over to Laporte. Now to Sanset. Sanset deep inside the attacking half. Sanset back to Canales, this time to Nico Williams. Nico Williams will try and run forward on the left hand side. Nico Williams getting closer towards the box. Nico Williams with the cross, but it's straight in towards Iglesias, and they'll be able to make the clearance Sevilla, and then Iglesias is caught there. That surely is a foul to Sevilla, and I don't think Iglesias needs to be in any rush to get up off the ground here. He was caught trying to run forward there by Canales. No, by getting Barren, in fact, who caught him. And now with just 10 minutes to play, plus stoppage time. Scoreline remaining, Sevilla 3, Athletic 1. That would make it, if the scoreline remains as it is, it would make it 73 apiece, It will now be 182 matches between these two teams, and we would be poised at Athletic 73 wins, Sevilla 73 wins, should this game remain as it appears to be on course to do. Yeri Alvarez heads away the clearance made by Odysseas. Out towards Sanari. Sanari plays back to Berenguer. Berenguer knocks the ball forward, looking for the run of Nico Williams, who'll come over on the right hand side. Nico Williams will do well to keep it in play here. His touch phone just knocks it behind, and that allows Suazo to pick up the ball and make the clearance through into the centre. Suazo's clearance goes straight to Laporte. Man of both French and Spanish nationality tries to pass to Sanset, but Sanset is under pressure from Romero. And so he has to pass back to his goalkeeper. Unai Simon will get the attack going once again. Laporte over on the right hand side. Berenguer will try and bring this one down, but instead it goes back to Suazo. But Suazo's pass, that is given away to Nico Williams. Nico Williams with the cross in towards the centre, opportunity! But Athletic unable to make the most. Berenguer arrives in the centre to pick up Nico Williams' ball, but he can't get the ball from underneath his feet, and the opportunity goes amiss for the host. It's a lovely piece of work from Nico Williams. The pass is maybe just a tiny bit behind Berenguer, and that's all it took to allow Sevilla to clear their lines. But here is Nico Williams, who again continues to be the main troublemaker for the Barça team. He tries to get through and it's put out for a throw. Rincon comes on over to take the throw alongside the edge of the box here on the near side, and I think there's time for one more change here for Athletic. Guerin Barrena is the man who makes way. Ruiz de Galarreta, who many would have expected to be starting today's game, he replaces him. As the throw is put straight behind by Nico Guillen for another corner. 8 minutes on the clock. Worried faces around the ground. Berenguer with the corner. Marwan Sanadi is there. It's a big figure, but instead it goes straight to Agume, who just about manages to clear. Berenguer comes and picks out the loose ball from the clearance. Goes back to Laporte. Laporte angles a pass towards Williams, but that is excellent goalkeeping by Odysseas, who comes straight out to catch it in the air. He collides with his own player. He collides with Robbie Ure. But that's some solid goalkeeping there from Odysseas. Did exactly what was required to neutralise and numb the attack. As Odysseas' ball goes out on that, just inside the attacking half for a throw to Sevilla. They can enjoy how this game has been, the statement of intent they are making. As things stand, Sevilla are currently on top of the Spanish league with 6 points. Their nearest rivals at the moment, Deportivo Alaves, on 4. So they will enjoy that as things are currently going. Also coming in to do some defensive work. Puts it out for a throw, which Rincon will take quickly. Throws into the centre to Sanset. Sanset knocks it out to Canales, but Canales is beaten to it by Ejuke. Now another opportunity for Sevilla to get forward. Ejuke tries to play the ball to Robbie Ure, but Robbie Ure can't get there before Unai Simon can, and Simon passes the ball out to Berenguer. Berenguer plays the ball into the centre. Rincon fighting for it up against Guillen. Brought down by Guillen and earns a free kick, which is going to be taken by De Galarreta. De Galarreta's free kick goes over to Canales. Now to Laporte, who passes into Sanset. Back to De Galarreta, this time over on the left-hand side to Williams. Williams looks to cross, but instead turns backwards. Now the cross comes in looking for Marwan Sanadi. Sanadi chests it down, goes out towards the edge of the box, rolled in towards the run of Rincon. Rincon with the ball in towards the centre, and it's turned behind for a corner at the near post, with Marwan Sanadi arriving to fight that one down. There's been a number of corners this second half for Athletic from that near side. Here comes another. This time Rincon will take it. Headed away in the centre by Suazo. Yen tries to continue the clearance. Just about managed to get past Berenguer, but Berenguer finds a way of hooking the ball back, but he does so illegally, says Cesar Soto. That's going to be a free kick. And a yellow card as well. And a little bit of pushing and shoving between the players there. Just having a look here. Actually, it looks to me like Guillen pushes Berenguer, and then actually Agume sort of catches the back of the head of Berenguer, who's not at all happy with that. Sevillan players perhaps just a tad lucky there, and it is the newcomer onto the pitch, De Galarreta, who has received the yellow card. Doesn't that just sum up what it's been today for Athletic Bilbao? Nothing really has gone their way whatsoever. Decisions have not worked out for them. Neither has the scoreline. As the Sevillan free kick goes all the way to Unai Simon. We have less than 5 minutes remaining for Athletic to do something to change the course of this game. Nico Williams on the far side dribbles his way further down, but he can't get past Ejuke. He does though on the second time. This time he managed to turn, plays the ball into the centre. Sanadi receives a push in the box there. No foul given by the referee. He perhaps went down a little bit too softly there, Marwan Sanadi. And the only recompense that Athletic get from that is a throw from within their own half, which goes all the way back to Unai Simon, who dribbles the ball in the direction of the halfway line, then passes to Alvarez. Now over on that left-hand side, played across to Sanset. Sanset now racing in towards the edge of the box. Sanset getting himself into the box, puts the ball in towards Williams, who flicks it over. I was going to say over the crossbar, but it would have to have been on target for it to be over the crossbar. Perhaps if the crossbar was another couple of metres long in its horizontal length. As it is, it goes behind harmlessly for a goal kick, and what really is another example of the afternoon for the Basque team. Not the celebratory start that they would have been hoping to kick-start their campaign. 12th last season, not really where they want to be in the Spanish league, but their start means maybe they're going to have to be doing some investments. Azure fighting for it, but he's beaten to it by Rincon, who's come over well. They need to get clear quickly here, Athletic. Get high up into the attacking half. De Galarreta passing the ball over to Berenguer. Berenguer does very well to cut inside past Carmona there. It's Athletic. De Galarreta into the centre to Canales. Canales trying to continue forward. Agume slides in, but he manages to pass to Sanset before the tackle. Sanset gets the ball over to Williams. 1 minute remaining on the clock. Williams with the cross, looking towards Berenguer, and Guillen just about managed to get in his way. And he might have received a push there, Guillen, as well. Don't think so. In fact, it will go all the way behind for another corner, is it? Or a throw? It will be a throw. Taken quickly. Back towards the edge of the box now. Sanset working his way through. Sanset gets himself into a shooting position. Sanset still going here. Out towards the edge now. De Galarreta tried to put it forward. Williams picking up the ball after Sevilla not able to clear there. Williams on the far side, pushed wide. Now to Laporte. Laporte back to Williams. That's a lovely ball from Laporte. Can Williams get there? He tries to keep it in play. He can't do it. And there are words of conflict there between Williams and Lopez. Have to see exactly what caused the anger. Williams told to wander away. He leaves his leg in to try and keep it. He catches Iglesias, and I wonder if that's what caused the anger of Lopez. It will be a corner. There are 7 minutes of additional time. I don't think it's going to be enough though. Athletic try to put the ball in the centre, but Ajuke is there to prevent that from happening, and he will now try and draw the clearance. The yellow card has been given as well there, and I think it is to Isaac Lopez. As Sanset knocks the ball out onto that left-hand side, and that's a foul drawn there by Canales. Wants the ball given back to him quickly to be able to take the free kick on the left-hand side of the box. Canales getting himself ready to take this one. Canales will look to surely to put the ball in the centre here. Marwan Sanari might be the man he goes for here. Canales the only man. Everybody else getting up there. No sign of Une Simombo so far. Canales' ball. He goes for the shot. And it's comfortable for Odysseas. That is not perhaps the best of choices there from Peo Canales. He might have done better, you think, putting something into the box, the delivery to ask questions, create a bit of chaos instead. His delivery is all too easy for the goalkeeper. Romero now trying to fight his way past Yeri Alvarez, receives a push, and it's a free kick given as well, and that will just allow Sevilla to continue to eat up the clock here as the captain, the 31-year-old, gives away a free kick. Ure will try and fight for the ball, but he's beaten there by Rincon, puts it out for a throw. And now Ure will take his turn. Just staying down on the deck for a moment. 5 minutes remaining on the clock. It's good defensive work though from Rincon. Really the only opportunity, or the only option he had. Throw taken here on the near side. Ogume trying to fight for it. Play though a Sevilla clear in towards the centre. Sanadi will try and get going from within the defensive half, and that draws a foul and another yellow card. The referee has had to reach into his pocket on a number of occasions so far in this game. This time it's Nico Guillen
who commits the challenge. He's laid in that one. Unai Simon, high up the pitch to take the free kick. Looking for Nico Williams. He might just about be able to find it. Unable, though, to get past Carmona. Clearance goes back to Yeri Alvarez. Back into Alvarez, who's further up the pitch now. Alvarez looking towards Sanadi, but I tell you what, that's not the best of deliveries from Yeri Alvarez, and you can see the expression on Sanadi's face as the home supporters do now start to make their way towards the exit. 4 minutes remain on the clock. Athletic 1, Sevilla 3. Not the result by any stretch of the imagination that they were hoping for this afternoon. Ejuke manages to prevent a potential attack there from Sanadi, and now the ball is cleared long towards Robbie Ure, who'll try and chase this one down, but Simon has had his number once again out on the edge of the box, able to clear out for a throw. The Sevilla players rather saunter forward to take this throw. Iglesias, the man to take it along that far side. Tries to chip over the top to Robbie Ure, who slips, and that'll allow Athletic to get the ball back to Simon. Simon puts the ball through the centre, but it's straight into Egume. Egume then commits the challenge on De Galarreta. No foul given, and Sevilla with Julio Diaz on the left-hand side. Julio Diaz goes back to Lopez. Lopez makes a clearance long, looking for Ejuke. Ejuke might just about find a way through here. He does really well with Ejuke. Racing towards the edge of the box. Is there time for one more for Sevilla? Laporte stops him from getting through, and Laporte will wrestle his way through and then win the throw as well. 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Laporte's throw goes to Canales. Canales passes in the middle to De Galarreta, who goes straight back to Canales. Have to get forward. This is their last couple of opportunities now. Berenguer plays the ball, but a bit behind Rincon. Rincon does manage to pick up the pass and then play it in towards the centre to De Galarreta. De Galarreta, this time over to Sunset. Sunset plays it left to Williams. Williams arriving towards the edge of the box, gets inside the box. Williams cuts himself through really well. Williams with the ball back in the centre, trying to find Sunset, but they don't quite coordinate how it's needed, and Sevilla just nod the ball back to Odysseas Balkodimos. Far too comfortable again for the Greek goalkeeper. And Sevilla have 1 minute remaining to cement their place on game week 2 at the top of the Spanish league. De Galarreta receives the ball from the goalkeeper on the halfway line. De Galarreta passes over right to Berenguer. Berenguer tries to find his way past Julio Diaz. Berenguer's pass goes astray in the middle, but Athletic just about managed to pick up that loose ball as Sunset tries to get himself forward. But again, still not finding. They're throwing themselves forward here, the Athletic players, but not finding those passes how they need, and it's a throw to Sevilla. 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Suazo rather gingerly on his feet and limping. They don't need to worry too much though about running down the clock now, the Andalusians. He was caught there, I guess, by Yeri Alvarez. With the final whistle now, surely just moments away. And there it is. A comfortable afternoon in Bilbao for Sevilla comes to an end. The writing was potentially on the wall early on in the game when Yuri Bechiche was sent off after just 12 minutes, and Sevilla responded in perfect fashion, capitalising on a mistake at the back. Osso netting home in a gifted opportunity to put Sevilla in front. The changes made by Luis Garcia ensured that Sevilla extended their lead in the second half. Ejuke received a lovely pass from Romero on the 50-minute mark to make it 2-0. Then Isaac Romero himself the scorer on 57 minutes, seemingly putting the game to bed for the Andalusians.
Athletic might have thought they had an opportunity back in this game when Paredes scored from a corner on the 70-minute mark, but they really failed to capitalise on any potential momentum. And we end this afternoon with Sevilla now on top of the table. They'll go on to play Atletico Madrid next weekend. Meanwhile, Athletic have to go again against Barcelona on Thursday, and they need to find a way of gathering their forces together and see if they can recuperate in time for what will no doubt be a mighty challenging affair. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon as we've been bringing you all of the events. We end here, Athletic 1,